We are about 5 minutes away from the closing bell, and we're about to see history made. The Nasdaq set to close at a new all-time high for the fourth straight day. The S&P 500 back and forth in positive territory, and it is negative right now, so no gain there. Any gain would be a record, but we do not have one. The Dow still in negative territory. 1-800 Jerome Powell. Okay, NVIDIA on pace to close above a $5 trillion market cap, making history as the first company to reach the milestone and cementing its place at the center of the AI boom. Today, Fed Chair Powell talked about how that AI boom may be impacting the jobs market. Listen.
Very, very carefully. To start with the layoffs, you're right. You see a significant number of companies either announcing that they are not going to be doing much hiring or actually doing layoffs. And much of the time they're talking about AI and what it can do.
Today's countdown closer sees opportunities ahead as we look toward the next stage of AI growth. Joining me now, Jack Janasiewicz, lead portfolio strategist at Natixis Investment Managers. Jack, is AI leading to company layoffs? It seems like we're seeing a lot of big companies announce layoffs.
Sure, and I think maybe under the surface that might be the case, but I would caution reading too much maybe into some of those recent layoff announcements because, if you look at the JOLT survey, there's a constant churn underneath the surface, and we start to see, jobs being lost, layoffs announced every month. And I think that average that we've seen over the last 5 years has been something close to about 1.5 million job losses each month, even in good times. So that's one side of the equation. The other side is just hiring is slowing. So it's a natural churn under the surface. That's one data point. I wouldn't read too much into that. We need other things, I think, to confirm that that's the case here.
I think we all hope you're right. Jack, what does the Fed's decision today mean for CapEx spending, especially when it comes to AI?
Yeah, I think it's still all systems go, right? Maybe we get a little bit of a cheaper discount rate with a 1/4 basis point cut. Certainly some evidence that maybe we have a pause at the December meeting, although I think that was more of a hat tip to maybe the hawks on the committee. But, I think going forward, it's that cost of capital. It's already been priced in. We're continuing to see that CapEx spend still be quite strong. We'll probably get some more indications over the next couple of nights here with the big hyperscalers reporting. I don't see any reason for that to slow anytime soon, at least in the near term.
Let's bring in Pallas Capital Advisor CEO Rich Mullen. Rich, come on in here. Tell us, what are your stock picks?
We're looking at the power infrastructure plays. The demand on power obviously has been extraordinary. One of our biggest bullish positions is on Vistra Energy. Vista's been a growth story here in power generation. These power companies have typically traded 8 to 9 times EBITDA. We're seeing 20 times EBITDA now with the demand on power. And Vistra is in the middle of that demand and playing really well.
Sounds well positioned. Rich, in a few minutes from now, we're going to get earnings from the big tech trifecta. Your stock pick, tell us, Microsoft plus Meta and Alphabet. What do you expect their earnings will say about the state of the AI economy and where markets are going?
I still think it's game on here. We're expecting great numbers out of Microsoft for sure. I mean, Microsoft, what an extraordinary story. 80% of the Fortune 500 are running Azure AI. They're well positioned now with their legacy businesses of enterprise software, services, and of course, intelligent AI, which was 38% of their revenues. We're expecting a strong investment number from them to continue the CapEx spending that we've seen. And, the secular story here is that computing demand is outstripping computing supply. So we don't see any change in that.
I want to turn to Jack here quickly. We don't have a ton of time left, but Jack, you like financials. We have the Goldman Sachs CEO David Solomon on the show tomorrow. Any thoughts on the landscape for asset managers?
Yeah, and I think going forward, that's probably a good place to sort of potentially see some upside for the market. You're probably going to get some deregulation going forward here, and as our asset markets continue to sort of perform well, that's going to fall right to the bottom line for a lot of these players that are in the market making and wealth managers. So again, I think longer term prospects for the financials and more specifically those money managers are going to be quite positive going forward.
Well, we're going to have to wait and see. Jack and Rich, thanks so much for being on the show today. Appreciate you being with us.